All right, folks. The WE Knives Reiver is on the table. Reiver, R-E-I-V-E-R, and I'm going to explain to you in a moment what that is because I just learned. At any rate, this is a fresh in from White Mountain Knives, just dropped from WE Knife Company, and you will see it at White Mountain Knives. You'll probably see it out at Knife Center, Blade HQ, etc., etc., all the usual suspects. And this is one of the largest knives recently introduced by the WE Knife Company, who used to be known for making almost 4-inch bladed and over 4-inch bladed knives in the past. Some of my favorite large knives are from WE. So, as I show it to you, let me read a little bit. Border reivers were raiders along the Anglo-Scottish border in the late 13th century to the beginning of the 17th century. They included both Scottish and English people. They raided the entire border country without regard to their victims' nationality. So they were raiders. And what does reiver mean? If you just ask the dictionary, well, go on a plundering raid. It comes from the Collins English Dictionary. All right, so they were raiders and plunderers, and we have a knife now for you raiders and plunderers. Well, we don't have to tell people what the name means. It just sounds cool, right? Shall we take a look around? And it is a beautiful drop shut knife on bearings with a titanium handle. An S35 VN coming in a little under 300. One would think they'd use M390, but S35 is certainly an upstanding good steel. The blade is of a cleaver style. And I'm going to show you another WE knife in a moment, one of my favorite all-time WE knives for design that has a similar shaped blade. But I do love the bronze stone finish, stonewash finish. So that is partly why I chose this color. If I can get bronze, and there are many other variants of this, in the links that I will leave in this video, you'll see a number of different variants. But we have almost a 4-inch blade. We're going to measure it up in a moment. We've got a itty-bitty little hint of a finger choil there. Not sure you want to use it. Let's call it a sharpening choil, because the heel does sort of jut back, and should you want to press your finger up in there, you might get it punctured. Really nice provision for lanyard there. Kind of snuck it in, so when you look from the side, it isn't there. When you look from the top, there it is. And a full backspacer with some very nice jimping there, grippy, and some pretty nice file-like jimping, short run of it for your thumb right at the first section of the blade. Interesting millwork on this, lots of it. Got some stepped areas there. Got a big fuller type groove in the middle, a longish titanium clip, and those 3 prominent cutouts for the relief of the lock bar, hardened steel insert, and these bronzed pivots with the WE logo on one side, and a little bit of a fuller there to sort of match the fuller on the handle. Smooth action. WE continues to do it very well. As a matter of fact, they're getting back to using pouches again with their logo made better. So I missed these on a few of their knives that were only coming in boxes, nice boxes as it was, but still without the pouch. I kind of rely on the pouch for storage. Get a bunch of knives in a drawer, and it's kind of nice to keep them from clanking against each other. I'm looking for my tape measure. And we're going to back out just a little bit so we can get the whole knife in and see how big this big boy is. Almost 9 inches, so 8.9 inches overall length with, look at that, a 4-inch blade by my measure. They're giving it a little less than that in the specs. And almost a 4-inch cutting edge, so like a 3.9-inch cutting edge. Getting the trusty calipers out. Let's see what they used for blade stock. 3.9 in inches. 0.15. Handle, not that thick. 0.52. And weight. Let's wait for the weight. A mere 4.1 ounces. So we're going to call that a inch per ounce blade. How did they do that? Well, in a knife this size, what you do is you mill it out. And that is well milled out on both sides, as you can see. So the removal of that titanium is what gives you that 4-ounce weight. So we have here a 4-inch blade. Yes, a 4-inch blade with almost a 4-inch cutting edge and 4 ounces. Quite nice. And they'll throw in that drop shut action for the heck of it. Why not? Now we've got the fuller cutout on the lock bar side that shows straight through to the inside of the handle. So it goes straight through, does not go straight through on that side. So that's interesting. Removed a lot of material there besides the milling. So got quite a light knife for the size once again. Love the brass finished hardware. Got 2 screws for the clip, not transferable to the left side. As we see with most titanium clips, it's the exception when a titanium clip is transferable, and usually it's more of the kind of punched out sheet metal style clip. Comfortable in the hand. That locks you in quite nicely, that finger groove. Very stick-like, very neutral. Holding it point down, no problem. I got a nice cap for the thumb. And really nice gradual belly there that I believe will be useful. And you don't need to tip up much to use that point for scoring and cutting. So a useful blade. EDC, yes. Large EDC, well, it might be pushing it in your jurisdiction if they don't allow a knife this size. But for those of us that love large knives, congratulations to WE for getting out of the 3.5 inch or sub 3.5 inch category, although I'm sure there will be more of those. An interesting treatment on that tip. So it's time to show you my other favorite WE knife. This is the 620. Has no name, the 620G in this case. And this is a gray titanium with some really beautiful fine millwork, like they used to do all the time. I'm not sure if I can show that to you or not. It is so fine, that millwork. And this is just carved out all over the place and crazy. But look at the similarity. They just echoed the 620, but made the blade a little narrower. Let's check it out more closely. I have to be careful how I handle them with one hand. Come on. Look at that. Almost the exact same grind, except we got a fuller going the full length on the 620. And it is a wider blade with a full finger choil. And Little shorter blade. All right, little bit shorter. So we got a longer, narrower blade on the Reiver. Overall length is going to be actually the same. Just looks longer because of the profile. Much taller handle here. Lots of different appointments here, such as the now defunct star bits, which I love just for looks, even though they aren't that practical, and they do give you the appropriate wrench for that. Look at the clip on this guy with the grooves and everything. I mean, you could call this an overdone knife. I happen to just really dig it. Super smooth on that one as well. About some comparisons with some conventional blades. Here is the Griptilian, of course. A standard for size. And we're over an inch longer, like an inch and a quarter or so longer with the Reiver. And here's the real test. How does a Reiver stack up size-wise against the Ontario Rat 1? Let's see. It's a bit longer by about a ½ inch. And that blade has got to be longer because we know it's a 4-inch blade and we know the Rat 1 is not a 4-inch blade. So close, but no gold medal. Loving the finish, loving the stonewash, kind of aged looking bronzed finish in this case. Like that lanyard hole, even though I'm probably not going to put a lanyard on this, but if you do, 4-ounce knife, nice lanyard, 4-inch blade, beautiful, beautiful. And I think they used an appropriate number of screws. You may not like the double screw there in the clip, but you know, I think it's fine. Single stop pin, no internal stops, pretty good size. The lockup, oh, just as tight as you would expect from WE. How about the blade to handle ratio? Oh my God, no wonder we got such a long blade. Look at that. And because it dips down, no danger here of picking up your finger or your thumb on that tip. Very nicely buried, but look at that, and nicely centered. WE does a great job. Look how muted the flipper tab is, and we got jimping all the way around. So I can't really exactly light switch that. It is slightly ahead of the pivot, which is a good thing because you can easily swing that open. Can I fail it? Not that time. No. It's interesting. It feels like it could fail, but it just swings right out from almost, one would say, the weight of the blade, even though the whole thing isn't that heavy. Nice milling on the clip. Just, I think this is going to be a winner for WE. I haven't seemed to be flying off the shelves at White Mountain over the past few days since I saw them drop, but maybe that'll change. Maybe you guys will like it and you'll run out and get one. That's certainly up to you. Don't forget to give this video a like and subscribe if you haven't already. This old sword, I'll be back with you soon.